And then, of course, as I mentioned very quickly, we're playing Zimbabwe in Uyo on Tuesday. This will be another 5 p.m. kickoff Nigeria time in Uyo. Remember, tail of the tape, we're 44th in the world. We're ranked 5th in Nigeria. You already know all our star players and who they are, you know. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, are ranked 119th in the world, so slightly above Rwanda. African ranking is 31st. Their head coach is Michel Nice. Players to watch out for with the Zimbabweans. To be fair, because of what Nigeria have done to us, I've been catching myself watching all the games that involve all the teams in this our group just to see the way we perform. And to be fair to Zimbabwe, even though they played at home, which was technically in South Africa, they were losing 2-0 to Benin Republic. Steve Mounier scored in the 12th minute and Dodo Doku scored in 35th minute. They were able to pull one back just before halftime, courtesy of Marshal Munetsi, who's one of their star players. And then in the 59th minute, they scored a very good goal through an excellent set piece by Knowledge Mosuna. So Knowledge Mosuna is also one of their pretty well-known players. They also have Marvelous Nwakamba, but he's out for this international break. He's injured, so watch out for that one. But I thought Zimbabwe showed spirits to get this tied down from 2-0 to 2-2. So out of their 5 games, they've drawn 3 and lost 2. So they've not been that bad, you know, especially at home. And unknowingly for us, we were one of the teams that gave them a draw, which in my opinion was super unacceptable. But anyway, we're here now. The momentum is with Nigeria, and Zimbabwe look to be the whipping boys of the group. So it would be a shame and devastating if Nigeria do not win this game. Watch out for Marshal Munetsi, who I just mentioned. The 28-year-old Wolves midfielder who just moved from Reims in the January transfer window, and he scored in their last game against Benin, as I mentioned. They've also got Munashe Garanaga. He's a 24-year-old player who plays for Copenhagen. Also Knowledge Musuna, who I mentioned, who scored the equalizer with a well-worked free kick. He's 34-year-old winger playing for Al Akdud. He also, and then they've got Jordan Zamora, who plays with Maduka Okoye at Udinese. Jordan Zamora used to play for Bournemouth. He was born and raised in England, but his family lineage is Zimbabwean, so he's been playing for the Zimbabwean national team. Head-to-head records: Nigeria in our last 2 games against Zimbabwe, we've drawn, which is very unlike us. We drew in November 2023. That was in the World Cup qualifier. That's already a year and a half ago, so that's a long time in football. And before that, we drew 0-0 in an international friendly in 2019. Prior to that, the last time we played the Zimbabweans was in 2006, and let's just say they were our whipping boys. We used to just beat them anyhow. 2-0 in 2006, 5-1 in 2005 World Cup qualifying for that World Cup that we did not make. Even that same World Cup, we beat them 3-0 away. So this is a team that really and truly we should be battering. And forget, we should really see our team handle Zimbabwe quite well. What do I expect to be the start lineup for this game? I think more of the same from the game against Rwanda. Eric Segoshel will look for the team to dominate our opponents, play on the front foot because we need the points. We can't afford any draws. You know, we need to minimize the counter-attacking opportunities that the opponents can get and make sure that we spend majority of the time on the ball. You know, if we can get close to 70% of possession, then we're in business, you know. Our defense will remain solid, and now that we have an idea about how the coach likes to play, I can see him playing pretty much the exact starting lineup that he played against Rwanda, except for one change. Osai Samuel looked like he got injured when he left, so I think there's a world where Osai Samuel will drop to the bench and Bruno Yemanchi will start the game on Tuesday. But apart from that, I expect Nwabali to get the nod in goal again. Ekong and Basi will continue to start as our centre-back pairing. I think Olaino should move to right back where he's a bit more comfortable playing, but he was solid in this game as well. You know, I don't really have any qualms for him. And then we should see Bruno Yemanchi. I think Bruno Yemanchi's attacking prowess showed through in the game against Rwanda. The amount of times he was in the final third of Rwanda and putting in crosses. Yes, it could be a bit more accurate, but you can see the potential and the attacking threats from Oyemachi. So let's see him get the nod. And Didi and Iwobi will continue to start in the middle. I expect Oyedika to start off the bench again because if it ain't broke, there's no need to fix it. Chukwueze, Simon will both start as well. And then we'll see Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, the 2 back-to-back African footballers of the year, lead the line for this final game before the international break ends. Scoreline prediction. Yes, we have to remain humble and keep our feet firmly on the ground. But after what we witnessed yesterday, I'm a lot more confident about how Nigeria will be feeling playing Zimbabwe. It's also nice that they can relax a bit with the pressure a bit off, just knowing that they can win. It's our first win of the World Cup qualifying rounds, and we need to make this two wins from our last two games. So I'm predicting a 3-0 win for Nigeria. I expect this to be a routine win for the Super Eagles. Victor Osimhen will definitely score again. That one is no in doubt. And I think we'll also see Lookman get on the score sheet in this game. So I'm predicting 2 goals for Victor Osimhen and 1 goal from Ademola Lookman. A 3-0 win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria over Zimbabwe. So that should take us closer to the top of the group. And hopefully Benin can do us a favor and take some points off South Africa, because I still do think South Africa are our biggest threat in that lineup.